As the first humans to ever venture out this far into the frontier.
Too fast! Sensitive point side damage.
Get out!
I thought we were both goners.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. I'm Operation DX, and welcome to episode 21 of my Planet Explorers version 0.72 Let's Play. During the previous episode, we were searching for survivors with Arturo and the gang, and unfortunately, a couple of them died due to some beasts. And now we found some that are stuck on top of this mountain, so we're going to go ahead and get these guys down with our newly constructed air vehicle. There are two ways you can kind of approach this. You can either build a kind of like ladder, or you can kind of go through the mountain and try to dig your way around to get these guys down, or you can build an air vehicle, and that's the whole reason why I was spending a lot of time trying to get a lot of meat so that I could buy all the parts I needed to go ahead and construct this. Now, this part is a little bit tricky, and it takes a little bit of finesse and finagling to try to get these guys to get onto the ship. Now, we've got to try to interact with one of these guys while we're close to them, and it can be a little difficult to do. So let's see if we can interact with this guy. No, it's not him, it's him. Alright. Cool, so he hopped right on. Now, I think it's actually going to be tricky to get the other guy, too. So they try to follow you, but then they won't go down. And they have to be close to you. Yeah, this whole little part's kind of tricky. But this first part is actually going pretty smooth. It doesn't typically. Of course, he jumps out of the air vehicle too soon, and now he's kind of just floating in midair there. He'll eventually fall down to the ground. But yeah, this is an alpha. These are forgivable offenses. Now we have to try to get this guy. And sometimes I have to land the vehicle and get out and try to get him back on the kind of like ledge there, so I can get him to come in here. I'm going to try to do the same thing I did with the other guy. This doesn't always go super smooth. Worst case scenario, we can just land, get out, and try to get this guy back up. Okay, he popped back up on the ledge. He's kind of limping around. Oh, crap. That's not good. That's not good. Well, actually, it probably would have been a good thing if he just fell down to the ground. Now we're probably going to have to land and get out. And it's kind of tricky because this ledge is like on a slope. And your vehicle can fall off. And if it can get destroyed. It can take a ton of damage by falling. So we don't want that to happen. Let's just try to get this guy up, and we don't want to fall off ourselves. All right, guy, get in here. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, this worked out. It would have been better if he would have just hopped in like his buddy did earlier, but we're good to go, good to go. So we're going to go ahead and land down, and we have to head back to the Earth camp, and unfortunately, I can't fly this vehicle over there because it would go a lot faster. I have to kind of just walk these guys over, or I'll lose everybody and the quest won't complete and we'll break the quest. Yeah, this one's kind of a tough one because you really do have to babysit everybody. Alright, we landed safely. We haven't caused any damage to our vehicle, and we're just going to go ahead and put that away. And now we're going to make our way back to Earth camp. Alright, slowly now. Can you lead the way back to camp? I don't think we need to linger here any longer. After we get through this quest line, I'm going to have to stop and do a little mining, because we haven't done a lot of that through this Let's Play. We've mined things that we've needed when we needed those kind of resources, but I don't have a ton of resources to build my colony with, so we're going to have to get some of that stuff, and we're going to have to construct some of the colony buildings, or I may end up buying them. Kind of we'll see how that goes when we get there. And hopefully we can reach the colony before nightfall, or it's just going to get dark again. I'll have to put my headgear headlamp thingy back on, maybe. We may get there before we need to use that thing. But yes, we have quite a large group with us at this time. And there's a lot of people to babysit. So I'm just going to kind of be careful as we make our way back to Earth Camp. So if you guys are playing this stage of the alpha and you're going through this story, I highly recommend you save often during this quest line, because it can and will break. So that's something I'm hoping that stuff gets streamlined. I'm sure they'll get that all worked out during the polish phase of this game and tweak some of these things that definitely need a little bit of tweaking. During my first playthrough of this game, I think I had the roughest time through these Arturo missions, because things did break a whole bunch, but it went actually a little smoother this time just because I knew how to handle all these things, especially the whole burying thing. That was kind of an issue. I ended up having like 2 or 3 extra remains of those guys because I kept having to redo it, and like I couldn't figure out how to get rid of the remains because they had no sell value, obviously. So I had like spots on my inventory that couldn't be cleared because I had extras of them and stuff. So anyway, so far I'm enjoying the story. We still have a little bit of story to get through, but it's I definitely want to see what's going to happen next. There definitely seems some sort of underlying conspiracy going on here, which we'll probably have to get down to the bottom of. I do hope that a large majority of the story does get voice acted. I don't mind using my imagination or trying to hear their voice while reading the text, but some of these characters we actually don't even know what they sound like, and I just kind of like, you know, hearing their particular voice or whatever. It helps with becoming immersed in the story and into the game, and it's just one of those small details just tacked on. Of course, this game, like I said before, has a lot of those nice little small details, and I just absolutely love. And some of the parts that I like most about this game are really kind of unfinished and not fully realized yet. We're just getting small trinkets as each update comes up. So it makes me hope that this game does well in Steam sales, because I'd love to see this game just come to full realization. This has really been one of the most fun experiences and gameplay things that I've done in a long, long time. At this time, the direction of this game is so good, and everything is pretty well executed. Of course, there are some hiccups, but and we're kind of running into them as we play through this particular version of the game. I think once all the colony stuff gets implemented, I'm just going to be a happy, happy camper. Because a lot of the stuff that even we'll see coming up here that suggests that the colony is capable of doing, it's simply not in this version of the game. And I would like to see more of that stuff. But based upon the stuff we're going to see very shortly here, sorry, it is going to give us a good indication that the colony functions and features are going to be incredible in this game. Alright, yes, we have reached Earth Camp with our full crew. Doesn't look like we've lost anybody. Hey, we're back. Ah, Arturo, Yovera, we got some wounded. Hey, let them lay here. Are they the only ones? There were 2 ships. I'll get the med kit. They're the only ones. Well, it looks like we're going to be sleeping in Earth Camp for the night, but we have a lot of quest stuff to do here, so let's go ahead and get that all started. I don't know what Alfonso wants to do. If he wants to establish a Mars colony, that's fine by me. Well, let's just establish an Earth colony. It's probably all the doing of Governor Skyrunner anyway. I would like to see one. From what you described, I think we have 3 realistic courses of action. We can ignore them. We could try to communicate with them, see if we can make any progress there, or we can shoot up a bunch of them and set an example to the other indigenous populations that the humans are not to be messed with. I'm sure most of us will go for option 1 or 2. but we have to keep the option of a firefight open. Our lives are at stake. For now, though, we'll need to observe them, see what they think, what they can do, and what level of technology they have. Once you set up a settlement, we'll talk this over. There are 14 small and 4 large lifeboats on the Epiphany. If all of them made it out, that's up to 316 people, which means that there are still at least 884 people on the Epiphany, assuming that the Epiphany crashed onto the Newton continent up north. There should be a trail of lifeboats from here until there. We'll need to come up with a search plan once we have a settlement up. I'm sure there are many other survivors. We'll need to find them before the indigenous do. I was part of the Star X team that designed most of the colony mission equipment, so I wanted to see everything through. My wife is coming on the second ship, and I wanted to prepare a magnificent home for her before she arrives. It looks like that'll be on hold for now. My goal is to make sure I meet her again. Alright, I'm still tweaking the scripts for the prefab building parts, but I'll give you the ones I have right now. I'll have more for you in the future as I finish them up. You did attend my course, How to Build a Settlement 101 back in the Epiphany, right? Good, then you're all set to go. The scripts I gave you are prefab parts for the assembly building, the coal power station, the dwelling building, the factory building, and the storage building. I do not care how you choose to build your colony, just place blocks any way you want to as long as you place prefab parts down. To start, you must place down the assembly building prefabs. They are a prerequisite for other buildings. They create a static field that keeps most of the animals away. You'll also need to place down the power station right away to power your settlement. The power plant can only support a certain area of wireless energy transfer, so you must make sure that you place your prefabs and turrets within that range. Once you have these two buildings, you'll need to place the other structures. I would suggest you start with the storage and dwelling builds, as you'll need them for people to actually live in your settlement. As per safety regulations, you'll need to make sure that the prefab structures are placed inside the static field. Other than that, the exact placement is completely up to you. People will need food and water to survive, so make sure you have an ample supplies in your storage before you start moving people in. Very soon the settlement should be able to produce its own food, but you'll need to check on the storage volumes at all times to make sure everyone's alright. We don't want people defecting to the Martian camp due to neglect, now do we? You'll be able to track all of your settlement's functions from the colony icon in your management interface. Included are all the personnel you've gathered to your settlement. Each colonist was pre-screened, so you can expect bright and talented individuals. You can train them in specific functions by putting them in specific buildings eventually. That concludes my lesson. We had to talk about the possible location of signal interference emission. It's somewhere to the west of here, but it seems to be coming from several locations. Let me mark them on your map. I don't know which one they went to first, so you might want to check the closest one if you're going to go look for them. I agree. Let's check out the one to the southwest first. Here, take these with you. They'll help you on your way. The jetpack will need a battery to operate. Be careful. And awesome, we now have the ability to construct a colony. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff he described there are just not functioning. If they are, some of them I just don't know how they work. Because I know that you can hire some people with some skills, they'll go out and cut down trees and that sort of thing, but as far as the food stuff and some other things, it doesn't seem like everything is working as he described it. In this version of the game, the static field is not working properly, and it's not keeping animals out. And I've tried upgrading it a few times and stuff, because I thought maybe some of the higher animals needed the shield to be upgraded, but no, it doesn't keep any of the animals out whatsoever. Anyway, we are sleeping now in Earth Camp, so we can get back into the daytime, and we're actually going to head over to the Martian camp, where we started to dig a hole for the gold, and we're actually going to now go over there and mine some gold. So through the next few episodes, I'm going to go to various locations to get some of the ores that I need. Gold, aluminum, coal, some other things that we're going to need for our colony. So we're going to do a lot of prep work to get our colony up and running, and within the next few episodes we will get started on our colony, probably around 24-25. Now that we have access to a flying vehicle, backtracking to other locations is not going to be an issue at all. This is the exact reason why in the beginning of this Let's Play series I did not want to fast travel between locations, because now you can see the whole progression of everything. So we've gone from going on foot to having a vehicle that we really couldn't use. Once we got it, we could drive it just like a couple of well, we didn't really get to use it for a full episode, but this thing we're going to use quite a bit. And this thing is more or less just an exploration vehicle. It's going to get us from point A to point B. But now that we've opened up the flying vehicles, we can go in lots of different directions. We can make combat vehicles, we can make combat land vehicles, or however. Right now, it's not such a huge deal, but yeah, this is going to give us a huge amount of mobility, and as you can see, I'm like already right back on top of the Martian camp. I'm just going to land down, and then during the next episode, we're going to mine a little gold, and then we'll probably head off and mine some other things. We don't need a freaking ton of it. We just need a little tiny bit just for my tools and stuff, but there's also some other critical things we're going to want, in particular the fertilizer gun, and in order to complete that side quest line, we need to get some aluminum. So we're going to head off to get some of that. And, of course, we need some coal for our power station, so we'll get some of that as well. And then just general materials we'll need for the base. Anyway, as I'm landing here at the Martian camp, that's pretty much going to wrap things up for this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, and take care.